can see, my homegrown container lettuce garden is doing really well, and it's performing so well because I've been trialing the Vermiponics, which is basically grabbing the extraction from my worm farm and putting it into these leafy vegetables, or leafy greens. They really are, they taste fantastic. And even as they're getting taller, which normally when they're bolting the seed, the leaves get bitter, but I'm finding this is not the case at all in this system. Okay, so we're back at the home DIY Vermiponics system. This is the plan that I plan to use and put into place once I get a bit more space. And it works basically, it's a flood system, so you flood the worm farm and then the water runs through, you pump the water back through to your grow beds. Now, you could have it like this, and this is how I would have it if I had like a house or a shed. Have the tank running off so I'm getting rainwater, I'm not using any chlorinated water to hurt the worms. You could even have a little pump in here oxygenating, but you wouldn't have to, but it would help. And then actually, so it needs to pass through here and then go into this system. So it'll be fed through, it'll flood through. Now you might have it set on some type of timer, so it will only do it once or twice, 3 times a day, depending on how you want to grow your plants. It floods through and then collects down the bottom in a reservoir. And it would need to go through some type of filtration here as well. So you might have a whole lot of gravel in the bottom here, and possibly some type of like fine wire or something to stop as much junk as going through as possible. And you also wouldn't mind having a little collection area in there where you could collect that and use it, because that would be very useful also for your gardens in the future. Then I'll just switch over to this side. So you have a pump running through and then into your main grow bed over here. Now your main grow bed would be pumping the water in, and you would have it set up similar to aquaculture and be using the big large stones that they use in aquaculture and in hydroponics. Soil would just make too much mess, and there'd be too much things going through the filters unless you had really some serious gravel beds underneath, or you had it pumping back through another gravel bed system and then into this. So it would go through, it would pump back through a filter here with the pump, and then run back around and go again. So one of the biggest problems in home gardening is that we use water and the water gets evaporated. And in aquaculture they use 90% less water than just a normal home garden. So the Vermiponics system would be very similar, where you're actually saving your water and running it back through and using it again and again. You would have to be a little bit careful on salt build-up, and it went through your filtration, because worms, they really don't like salt, and it will affect them, and you'll get poor performance overall. And the food that you need to feed them, you just need to keep an eye on that. Don't overfeed them, because you don't want it getting smelly, because you are flooding it. Like a couple of times a day. I do mine, just my home one, probably once a day. And, then running it back through the whole system again. If you're only flooding it once a day, you need to make sure that this will stay moist. And most grow beds will stay moist if you, give it a really good water once a day, and it will work really well. Now, worms have an amazing, like in their gut, they create all these digestive systems and things, and create this amazing fertilizer, which are really great for growing pretty much anything and don't burn any plants at all. But they find in the aquaculture systems and hydroponic systems, leafy greens seem to grow best with certain types of tomatoes. So that's one system, and I am just going to flip over the board and show you another really easy little home system before we get to my outdoor system, which is even simpler again. So here's the vertical garden for taking up that vertical space. Yes, we should all be using some type of vertical space to use that area. We've got all this free area around us, and we forget about this space because we're so used to working at ground level. Now you can hang this guy up, you can make it from a big bucket, and you can put like your own water system down below. So some way to stop the water coming through. How I do it is I put actually a big ice cream container in the bottom, I cut a foam lid, and then I put some gravel in here, and fill it up with dirt, or I use the system for same as the aquaponics with the clay rock, and then just have some way to drain it down the bottom into here. You can also put a tap into here and collect it for later and just turn the tap on. This way, you know, you're solving that problem of water just being used up too much all the time, because in aquaponics they save so much water. We should be doing it too in our home garden, because water is becoming a scarcity. Okay, so after I've flooded the worm farm, I've collected all my Vermiponics, or some people just like to call it worm tea. I've mixed it into a 50-50 mix in here, into the bucket. Then what I've done is, because you've got to have an NPK, it should be very high in nitrogen. I haven't got it tested. If you need to know exactly what's in them, you would need to go to a laboratory and get it tested. But what I do is I just use this one. It's a liquid seaweed mix. It's an NPK, broad spectrum, and you know, that helps with the flowering onset as well, and also all the minerals from the seaweed that the plants need. Now, if you don't have that, you can just use the straight seaweed one, and that'll do really well. Now, I had a great discovery the other day. If you haven't been watching my videos, you should go back and watch this one a couple of videos back, about how I made this little self-watering container and put the dwarf tomatoes in it. Now, these two plants are pretty much the same age, and it's in exactly the same growing medium, except this one's got the Vermiponics down it, and this has been, well, maybe getting neglected a little bit more, and it's had the nutrient available to it the whole time. So it's showing that, you know, this is performing much better. It's much greener, it's getting stronger leaf growth coming through, it's looking really, really healthy. It's got that golden look inside, and look, it's even got some green stuff growing around down the bottom here, and you know, because I haven't blocked the light up, so you might want to wrap some tape around the bottom there, or sit it in a bag to stop that from growing, the moss from growing inside there. But you know, that shows that it's really working. And you know, like what I do then is, my last thing is I actually mix it with this, and I put it for about an hour through the pump. And that seems to work really well. It just oxygenates. A biodynamic system that they use to oxygenate everything that they put out onto the farms and stuff. And I really believe that that the oxygen does help when it hits the root system. They can actually uptake that nutrient much quicker, and actually take it in their system, into the plant system much quicker as well. So another thing that you may want to add right near the end is some Epsom salts, just for the extra magnesium. But you may find that a lot of the seaweeds already have that in there. But this, you know, it really does help as well with the overall plant health, and it's quite cheap. I just use under, then over, you know, maybe just a teaspoon, a tablespoon, half a bucket would cover it. Okay, so that's it for today. Now, what I'd like you to do is please subscribe to my channel, so you can follow me and follow the story as it evolves. And I'm growing fresh food at home on my patio. I do plan to expand out, visit some more gardens soon, and possibly even get some food growing in the ground. Got some more great systems coming up, and more tutorials along the way. So please subscribe now, and we'll see you at the next video. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment for any questions you got down below, and we'll see you at the next videos soon. And get your Vermiponic systems underway, and I'm sure you're going to love the results that you get from it. Hey, this is Marty Ware from Marty's Garden. I hope you enjoyed that video and you got lots from it. Please share it with your friends, and before you go, subscribe so you can see more videos from Karen and myself, and also click on the link down below once you've done all that in the description box, and head over to happyhouseandgarden.com. It's your social site for you. Yes, you can share all your images. You can make a free website as long as it's in the house and garden niche. Share it on Facebook, Pinterest, whatever you like, and have tons of fun along the way. And I'll see you over there, because I'm in there every day. Happy gardening.